I think one of my all-time favorite quotes is that the Titanic didn't sink because of the water around it, it sunk because of the water inside of it. So if you're kind of floating in this sea of negativity, don't let that get inside of you and bring you down, because if you don't let it in, you can continue to sail and you just get through it. But the moment that you crack and you let that in, that's what brings you down. So just don't let yourself crack under the pressure. Don't let that in. And as long as you don't, you'll be okay.
Katie was a student in my Calculus 2 class, and I noticed her immediately because she sat in the front center and was probably the most attentive person in the class. She just kind of stuck out for me as somebody who took education very seriously. It was important to her.
I was just completely impressed with her ability to maintain the grades that she had maintained despite all that she had been through.
When I was first born, I lived with my mom, my older sister, and my grandparents in Corona, California. And then my mom met and married my stepdad. So when I was about a year and a half old, we moved to Alabama. And then when I was 6, we moved to South Carolina.
Her background was not good, and I would put not good in all caps. She was abused from the time she was 3 years old, sexually abused. She had to live with a mother that was an alcoholic, the stepdad that was an alcoholic also. Mom never finished school, so the stepdad was the only one bringing in money, and it wasn't even enough to keep an apartment or food on the table.
At one point in her life, she was homeless.
I mean, even when we weren't sleeping in our cars, even when we were in a motel or at someone's house, it was so difficult because you never really felt like you belonged there. You always felt like you were out of place, and you were always constantly worried about, where does my next meal come from, and when is this going to end, and am I going to sleep outside tonight? And it just, I mean, it's hard.
And when she was able to escape for a while, she moved out with her sister. Her sister was struggling to make ends meet.
I don't know where I would be without her. When she found out what was going on, she really stepped up, and she basically told my mom, I'm not going to let you do this to her anymore. I'm not going to let you let someone else do this to her. I'll do whatever I have to. I think she's so incredibly brave for stepping up and, you know, being so young and having a daughter of her own and just doing all the things that my mother should have done and never did. I'll never be able to repay her for all that. I was 16 years old when I was finally able to leave South Carolina and come back to California. And I think the best thing about that for me was just the feeling of safety, that now I'm all the way across the country. I don't have to worry about who's going to come for me. I don't have to worry if people are going to, you know, try to hurt me in the middle of the night or things like that. So I could focus more on my school and focus on just trying to get some sense of normalcy in my life.
Katie, other than my own 2 girls, is probably the most wonderful young lady I've ever met in my life. And I would adopt her in a minute. She knows where she wants to go, and she's going to get there.
One of my staff members shared with me Kathryn Grizzle's journey, first to a community college, and then transferring with a straight 4.0 to Cal State San Bernardino.
And when I was applying for schools at the end of my community college career, Cal State San Bernardino is the only one who gave me a chance. And from the moment I got here, I've just felt like this is where I'm supposed to be, and I've been working so hard, and I've had so many amazing teachers so far. I mean, if I didn't have my education, I wouldn't have anything. I would still be in that cycle of addiction and poverty, and I would probably marry into the same issues that my mom married into.
I believe that's motivated her to be the very best student, but also to give back to the community by volunteering her time and service to not only the K-12 community, but to nonprofit organizations that address issues of sexual assault, homelessness, abuse, and domestic violence.
I'm not going to stop at my bachelor's degree. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to get a master's. I'm going to get a PhD. It's something that I'm going to instill in my kids and in every person that I meet.
I think that the driving force behind Katie pressing so hard to get through college and do better for herself is the fact that she knows that she will never have to go back to the life that she lived before, and to know that she will have an effect on someone else's life, so they possibly won't have to live the same life or a similar life in the future.
She sees in students what many don't see because she's been there. And she knows she can make things better. And she knows how to do it. I cannot wait to have her as a teacher because she will do amazing things.
If I could talk to my younger self, I think I would just tell her that it gets better. And I think I would tell her to just keep doing what you're doing. Just keep your nose in the books, just keep working hard, just don't let anybody tell you that you can't do whatever it is that you want to do. And just, keep looking ahead and just know that there's light at the end of the tunnel, and that if you keep working, you're going to reach it, and just don't give up.